You're listening to This Week in the World of Football, which is coming to you from the fabulous World of Football Man Cave, located in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. The purpose of this podcast is to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. The intent is to educate, inform, and entertain you, the listener, with the glorious buffet that is the world of football, while also keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. You can find this show on a multitude of podcast platforms as well as on YouTube. Timestamps are provided in the show description, so you can jump to the topics you really want to listen to. So without further ado, let's kick off this week's show.
Hello again, everyone. This is episode 402 for July 15th, 2025. I'm your host, Randy Snow. On this week's show, a champion is crowned in the LFA, a CFL game was postponed for a day due to poor air quality, and we have our review of the Netflix docuseries Quarterback. But I'm not here all by myself. Across the table from me, as always, is my son, Adam.
Man, oh man, you have been traveling the last couple of weeks.
It's been a whirlwind the last week.
I want you to share your travel story if we have time.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I see
Where
your
do I
nice
start?
I see your nice PFRA shirt over
Yep.
there. Those look pretty nifty. Unfortunately, since I didn't go, I didn't get one, which is
That's
fine.
right.
It's all good, but that is a nice looking shirt, despite it being Minnesota Vikings colors.
Yeah, purple.
But it sounded like you had a great trip.
It was a great trip.
So I assume we're going to have a video of your travels at some point. You're working on a narration for me?
Yep, I'm working on the narration. I've forwarded you all the videos and pictures that I took, and we'll be sifting through those in the next couple of days, and hopefully by this weekend we'll have a video up.
And I have to ask, because you were telling me this stuff the other day, and I was like, why don't we save this for the podcast, Randy? This is great content. You got to tell everybody a couple of the weird mishaps that happened to you on this trip, because while the video we'll put out will have all the good stuff, all the nice stuff, it's going to miss out on a couple of these weird things that happened to you.
You talking about the rental car?
The rental car situation, and then your home ticket.
Home ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it started after I left Kalamazoo, where I'm flying to Chicago for my connecting flight to Minneapolis. And as I'm landing in Chicago, I'm looking at my tickets, there and back on my phone, and I had the realization that I messed up on my return tickets. I thought I was going to be getting home at noon the day I come back. No, I read that wrong, and I had myself scheduled to come home at midnight.
That's a heck of a layover.
Which meant I would have gotten to Chicago early in the morning and spent at least 12 hours there waiting for a plane to come back. So it was awful. So I knew that once I got to my room, I'd have to fix it. I did. I fixed it. Got home. Everything was fine after that. But then I landed in Minneapolis. Everything's fine. Went through security and all that stuff. Got my bag. I go to get my rental car. And I go up to the rental car counter, tell them I got a reservation. They said, no problem. I hand him my driver's license, and he goes, your driver's license is expired. It's been expired for 2 months.
This guy.
My birthday was back in May. I never got any kind of notification from the DMV in Michigan. Hey, your license is coming up for renewal. You can renew it online. You can, mail us a check. You can stop in. I saw nothing. And so here it is, middle of June or July, and I've been driving on an expired license all this time. So
hold on, that whole drive out to Albany, New York.
Yes. Yes. I was driving on an expired license, and I didn't even know it.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, so the ticket agent goes, well, if your state's one of those where you can renew your license online, maybe you can do that, and if you get some kind of proof on your phone or whatever, we'll rent you the car. And so I went over and sat down in a chair and pulled out my laptop. Yep, I logged in. Yep, I gave him my credit card number. Yep, I renewed it online, and I got an email back saying, thank you for renewing your license. Here's your confirmation number. And so I took that back up to him, and I showed him the email. He had me forward the email to some address where he could print it off and to put it with my paperwork. It for whatever reason, he couldn't get it to print off that right then and there, but at least he gave me the car. And so I was afraid driving around Minneapolis with a license that technically it wasn't expired anymore, but
right.
A cop would have looked at it and said, this is expired, and I would have had to say, no, here's you got to pull out my phone, show him my email from the DMV in Michigan. That, yeah, it's good to go. But man, it was a rough start to the trip, but everything went well after that, and the trip home was fine, and what a great trip after that.
I mean, and you told me you're like, because I couldn't go. I was like, I just couldn't make it
Yep.
work. And you were like, you were glad I didn't go because I probably would have made it a little. I would have been extra stressed.
You would have blamed me for everything and made it even worse, put more stress on my shoulders. But
it would have made it into the video.
Yeah,
So.
but I just, like I said, I just quietly went over, sat down, and did what he told me to do, and it worked out fine.
Right, and I told you when we were talking about it, I was like, 30 years ago, you couldn't have done all that.
No.
You would have been miserable, probably.
Yeah, they wouldn't have got me a car. I don't know what I would have done after that.
I mean, Uber,
but I
well,
don't.
even then,
I don't
not
have
30
an
years
account,
ago.
so I'd have had to set all that up.
I mean, either way, you probably would have worked
I
it
probably
out.
could have got a taxi to the hotel.
A taxi?
And
Oh boy, a taxi.
bummed a ride from there, but
Yeah. I just thought that was crazy. That you told me that, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I definitely would have been extra stressed out because of that.
yeah.
But
And I didn't even tell anybody on the trip. Nobody knew this.
That's crazy.
It was on the trip.
It all worked out for you, and you had a great time. I saw your pictures. I mean, you flooded. We have a special album where you were sending all the pictures just in case I could make something for you on the trip. But
yeah,
looked like a lot of fun. We'll talk. I'm sure.
was.
I don't know if you have a bullet point for diving into your trip during the show, or if you just want to get all that out of the way now with your PFRA trip.
I don't know. I don't want to say too much about it. The video will be out in a few days, so everybody will see it.
Can I just ask you then real quick, what was your favorite part of the trip before we move on?
Going to the University of Minnesota football stadium and taking a tour of that. Their locker room was massive, and the guy said he said it was the biggest one in the country, and I don't have any reason to doubt him because it was just massive, a huge locker room, really great, a lot of great woodwork, all the different lockers themselves, all this beautiful woodwork, and they had pictures above everybody's locker of a lot of great University of Minnesota players by number. They started out with number 1 and went all the way through all the numbers. Great players. Charlie Sanders is up there from the Detroit Lions. That's where he went to school, and several other players. I think Bronco Nagurski played there, and man, it was cool. A lot of great history, a lot of row the boat stuff all over that stadium. I took several pictures, and I guess people are still to this day they're sending in oars, wooden oars, all different shapes, different sizes. They've decorated them all up. Go Gophers. Go Gophers, yeah. Mm-hmm. People my age will know that cartoon, but you don't know. But anyway, they decorate them up, and the guy that runs the stadium, he's the one that was giving us the tour, and he said, I didn't know what to do with these things, so we just started hanging them on the wall. So when the players come out of the locker room and head down the tunnel to the field, that tunnel is lined with all of these oars. And so I said, we need to do a World of Football oar and send it to him, and I mentioned it to the guy, and he immediately whipped out his business card and said, do it, and he handed me the card.
Yep, and you know who I needed to talk to about making that work, and if you get the oar, we can make it work. So the announcer lady said she'd do it, so
really
we'll go from there. You just got to find the oar.
Okay.
But yeah, to follow up on that, I did ask ChatGPT while you were talking. Just take this with a grain of salt, but we'll see. What's the biggest locker room in college football? The largest locker room is Murray Warmoth locker room at Huntington Bank Stadium, home of the Minnesota Gophers. It is recognized as the biggest on-campus football locker room across college and professional programs.
Yep.
So here's some highlights it had in here according to whatever it found on the internet. It's named after legendary coach Murray Warmoth. Is that how you say his name?
I'm not sure.
The space is the team's primary locker room. It features 120 custom-built cherry wood lockers, high-end lighting, and design touches like a massive M lighting fixture. You did get a couple of really good videos of that hallway and that locker room that I can't wait to throw in that video because they were really cool looking. I'm sure there's more professional-looking videos out there, but you just sending me that made me go, dang, that's a nice-looking.
Yeah, just
everything
was done on my phone. Yeah. And like I said, I created a shared folder, so I put everything in the folder, and then you could see them.
I'd get a 30 image photo dump all of a sudden. I'd be like, oh, great, here's Randy's day.
But no, it was good. I wish you could have been there.
Yeah, same. It looked like a cool trip. I'm looking forward to I've seen all your videos and pictures and stuff, but I also kind of like don't sit on it because I'm going to be sitting there for hours looking at all of it
Right.
while I put your video together. So I'm not worried about
I got
it.
video of all the speakers except one.
You?
Yeah, no, Chris Willis.
Oh, Chris spoke?
The head researcher at the NFL Films. I did not, for whatever reason. He was
We
like
gotta
the
get Chris-
second. I think he was like the second person to speak, and I totally forgot.
Oh.
But I got a picture of him and I together.
We got to
so,
get Chris on the show. Can we do an interview with him? You want to set that up? I like
maybe.
Chris. Chris is cool.
I don't know. Did I tell you about the thing September 20th in Columbus, Ohio?
I don't think so.
Chris told me that they are doing.
Hold on. Is this one of those things where he said off the record we can't talk about?
No.
Okay.
That they are going to dedicate a plaque at the original building where the very first office was for the NFL.
Oh, nice.
Where Joe F. Carr had his office, and they're doing a ceremony. He invited me down to that. You can come as well, but it's supposed to be a pretty big deal, and I would love to see the building. You know, go in the building. They're going to have tours, and they're going to have whatever. But I'm looking forward to that already.
Let's see, September 20th. That is
It's a Saturday.
Oh boy, I mean, down and back trip could be doable. But I'll be a married man by then, Randy, so I'll have a wife to deal with. So
Well, then let's let her drive.
she ain't want to drive for that. Don't even. Nope, we're not roping her into that. Nope. But all right.
So
yeah.
just a possibility.
Okay.
Another side trip.
Okay. All right. Well, we're 11 minutes into the show. We haven't even gotten to the basic stuff. Hopefully, everybody liked that little preamble. Do you want to keep going?
Sure. So we do YouTube videos. We got over 600 on our YouTube channel. Some of the most recent ones are our Week 6 review, which we did last week, and or is that the one we just did yesterday?
We just did that yesterday.
We just did that. Man, I don't know.
I know your
where
week's
I'm
all.
at.
You forgot about another video we
I
did.
messed
So
up. Yeah. Let's see. You did 2 history lessons on your own.
yeah, what'd you think
which I
about
thought-
those?
Those were good. Arena football in Michigan and arena football in Ohio, since that's where the 2 new franchises are going. So you talked about the teams that have the arena football teams that have been in those states before, like 3 in Michigan and 7 or 8 in.
From what I found, it was 7 in Ohio, but there was an 8th that never played. I love that one.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I could pull up for that team was awesome, like the graphics and stuff for that.
Yep.
And not to brag or anything, we did start getting a feeler out about if we would be wanting to participate in going through the announcements for those 2 teams. We weren't told the locations.
Right.
Full disclosure, we do not officially know the locations of the team.
Right.
Unofficially might be a different story, but officially we do not know the locations of the teams. But we were kind of asked, like, would you be willing to come to these 2 events possibly? And I said,
Yes.
duh. The one in Michigan for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know where it's at in Ohio, so I don't know how far we have to
Right.
drive and how we'd make that work. But if we could do both, that'd be
Sure.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But the Michigan one for sure, you'll see our dumb mugs at some point there.
Yep.
And then we also did the video, because you didn't remember this one apparently from your long weekend. We did an interview with Ozarks Lunkers quarterback Tyler Kulka. Obviously played with the Cats, now in the TAL. So that was a fun interview. We kind of lost a few minutes of it. There was his phone overheated, but we still were able to get a good 10-minute interview out of it.
Yeah.
You might not even have noticed.
I didn't. I watched the whole thing. And
The
I'm
way I
like,
was able to cut it, it
was really good.
I was able to find a spot where it's like it's almost seamless. But there was so many good stories he told us that we'll have to get him back on to tell. Like, he's a great interview. Tyler's so cool. He's a good guy. So our friend of the show now, good Michigan kid.
Yep.
So,
and we got some upcoming videos. We've got our Week 7 CFL thing. We're gonna have the PFRA video. We'll get that done. Anything else that you want to talk about?
We do have a couple more arena videos in the fire. We won't say anything more about that yet. Not that they're a big deal, but just, I don't know. I feel like maybe we shouldn't say what they are in case they don't pan out. But we are working on a couple things. I know the one for sure I want to do, you and I got to talk about afterwards. But there's 2 specifically.
Okay.
So.
All right, so this week on our show, we have scores from 28 different games in 6 different leagues from across the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and Europe, including 6 playoff games and 1 championship game. So when you hear someone say they can't wait for football season to begin, and you know some schmuck will, you have our permission to laugh right in their face and tell them to listen to this show. So, without further ado, let's get into this week's tour around the world of football, and we're going to start off this week with scores from the CFL. This was week 6 up in the CFL. Only 3 games this week, which was unusual, but I'm glad because I didn't have time to go over all the games after being away all week. So on Saturday, it was the Calgary Stampeders over the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 24-10. This was the first loss for Saskatchewan. The game was actually delayed from Friday night due to poor air quality up in Saskatchewan due to the wildfires that are going on up there. And in that game, Calgary quarterback Vernon Adams threw his 100th career touchdown pass. So that was a good game. I didn't expect Saskatchewan to lose, by 14 points. Because they were undefeated, and so it was just I'm glad for the Stampeders. I mean, good for them, but a bit of a surprise there.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next game. Also on Saturday, it was the Hamilton Tiger Cats over the Ottawa Redblacks, 23-20. Hamilton's first lead of the game came with under 2 minutes to play. Ottawa had this game in their pocket the whole game.
They really did.
And it wasn't until under 2 minutes that Hamilton finally took the lead, and after that, they were able to hang on for the last couple minutes for the win. So good for Hamilton. And then the third game was a Sunday night game. The BC Lions defeated the Edmonton Elks 32-14. The big question now, and we talked about it on our CFL podcast, do they keep Trey Ford? We love Trey Ford. We do. He's a Canadian quarterback, which is kind of rare up there. Like him and Nathan Rourke are the only two right now. And Trey Ford has such potential, but he's just not, for whatever reasons, getting the job done.
He'll have a great game like last week, and then he'll have a dud like this week.
Yeah.
It's just the ups and downs. If you're the Elks, you got a bye week.
Yeah.
And you have a very big decision, I think, to make for the rest of the season.
And they've got a good backup in Cody Fajardo, so, I mean, maybe they saw this coming. I don't know. But I'd hate to see Trey Ford go to another team, but it may be necessary. And it could be just what he needs. Go to a different team with a different offensive coordinator that can, work more to his talents. I don't know what's going on with that, but he's a good quarterback. I think he still has a future up there, and love to see him succeed, whether it's there or someplace else.
Right.
All right, and then on bye this past week, it was to Toronto Argonauts, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and Montreal Alouettes in the CFL. So I actually have the standings if you want to go through those. I added those this week.
I'll do you want me to read them?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so your standings after 6 weeks in the Canadian Football League. In the East Division, the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Montreal Alouettes are knotted up at 3-2 at the top of that division, followed by the 1-4 Toronto Argonauts and the 1-5 Ottawa Redblacks. In the West, the Calgary Stampeders now jump up to the top of that heap with a 4-1 record now that they beat the previously unbeaten Saskatchewan Roughriders. So both those teams are 4-1. Then in the third spot in the West, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at 3-1. The BC Lions are 3-3 in the fourth spot, and the Edmonton Elks at 1-4 in that final spot in the West. As we mentioned on the show, so I didn't really give a whole lot of comments. We talked ad nauseum about it on our other show. Go watch that if you want to hear our more complete thoughts on the CFL stuff. But if the East doesn't get shaped up, Toronto or Ottawa need to get some more wins. Otherwise, there's a team in the West that could do a crossover. And you know me, I like my chaos in football. It's been a while since we've had a crossover team in the postseason. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So. All right, so we're going to move now to the Indoor Football League. And Adam, why don't you run down those scores?
Yeah, the IFL is getting really close to their postseason. Teams are getting eliminated. Teams are clinching their spots. So it's a really exciting time in the IFL. And just some crazy news. They've been signing some players. We're going to talk about one in particular here in a second. And they had a lot of great games this weekend. I didn't get to sit down and watch it, obviously, because apparently I'm an AF1 shill and will not pay for IFL football. No, look, I've been debating on maybe getting it for the playoffs here just to catch some games. But I follow Trey, off the wall. They always cover it, and Trey's always cool with coming on. He might have to be on in a couple weeks to talk the end of the season, IFL stuff with us.
Playoff preview, maybe.
Yeah, playoff preview, season review kind of thing. We always do that with him. But a lot of great games. Friday night started with the Bay Area Panthers defeating the Vegas Nighthawks. How about this? 55-54. If I saw the highlights from this one, the Nighthawks had an opportunity to win this game, I think. They were going for 2 there at the end, and the Panthers just were able to knock that ball out and got the victory there. But the Nighthawks, trying to get that win. And then on Saturday, the Gunslingers defeated the Jacksonville Sharks 46-31. Our beloved Fishers Freight defeated the Iowa Barnstormers 58-50.
Yes.
That's 3 straight wins for them. It really gave me some hope the other night that maybe they could, sneak their way into the playoffs.
Yep.
But because of this next, there's a couple games away from here, but they ended up getting eliminated this weekend. Spoiler alert, I know. It stinks, but they are riding high at the end of the year. Then on Saturday, how about this game? The Green Bay Blizzard defeated the Quad City Steamwheelers 58-52. These two teams are going to probably play again in the playoffs. They've been the 2 best teams in the East, I think, all season long. And I've seen both. I can't. This is a coin flip matchup whenever these 2 teams get together. And just a little side note, I did see a little while ago as I was kind of perusing through some of Trey's tweets just to kind of remind myself what happened this last weekend in the IFL. That apparently coming up this week, the Quad City Steamwheelers are going to have $1 beer night for their final home game. Awesome. We need more of that in our indoor football.
Nothing good can come of that. Sorry.
Hold on. Only good can come of this, Randy.
I disagree.
But how about this? The Tulsa Oilers defeated the Massachusetts Pirates 35-28 in double overtime.
Woo.
This game had pretty much, all the eyeballs on it. If you're an IFL fan, this game delivered. And something I didn't see coming prior to this game was Arena Football 1 MVP and Arena Crown MVP Sam Castronova signed and played with the Oilers this past week. I believe he helped score all the touchdowns for the Oilers. I want to say, I don't have the stats in front of me. I want to say he threw 3 touchdowns and he ran for 2, or it could have that flipped. I'm not sure. But he did have an interception during the game too, so he adjusted to the IFL game. I'm not sure if there was a lot of AF1 fans freaking out that these players are jumping over to these other leagues. Like we had Tyler, obviously, Kulka playing with the Ozarks Lunkers. Now we got Castronova jumping to the IFL. I know there's been some debate on does this mean the AF1 has better talent because now they're jumping over to the IFL? I don't know. They're just football players and they want to play.
Yeah.
I think it's nothing more than that. Nothing to really get your panties in a bunch about. Let Sam go play, and he's trying. The Oilers are trying to make some noise before the postseason, and they got the best quarterback probably in arena football / indoor football in Sam Castronova. Yeah. So that dude's a heck of a guy, nice guy. We got to meet him.
Yep.
So I guess we can call him friend of the show. He did an interview with us, so Sam Castronova, friend of the show. And then Saturday, the Arizona Rattlers defeated the San Diego Strike Force 46-43.
Another close game.
Yeah, a lot of great close games this weekend. Everything, a lot of them within a score if you go through everything. Yep. And finally, the Northern Arizona Wranglers got a victory over the Tucson Sugar Skulls 61-55. A lot of nice, I won't say, there was high-scoring games. I don't know what we define as a high-scoring game in indoor and arena football. I think if teams score over 50 points, that's high-scoring.
Right, yeah.
Even 40 points is high-scoring. So the IFL, a lot of entertaining stuff over the weekend. Don't let anybody fool you. As much as we're AF1, arena fans, at our core, we do also love indoor football. And these guys are doing a great job.
We just like good football wherever and however it's played.
Yeah. We do not care.
And by the way, that was only the second win for Northern Arizona.
Yes, it was.
Coming this late in the season, good for them.
All right, and running down the IFL standings after 17 weeks, we have 2 regular season games left to play, everybody. The Quad City Steamwheelers in the East are 10-4. They have their spot clinched. Then this is where things get a little muddied, as the Green Bay Blizzard and Jacksonville Sharks both sit at 9-5. The Tulsa Oilers are now 8-6, kind of holding on to that last potential spot, but nothing has been locked in stone yet. Then you have the Massachusetts Pirates at 7-7. Then our beloved Fishers Freight, who were eliminated at 5-9, and then the Iowa Barnstormers at 1-13 round out the East. In the West, almost everything's set in that, other than seeding, I think. But the Bay Area Panthers are at the top with a clinch spot at 11-3. The Arizona Rattlers clinched this weekend. They are 9-5. The San Diego Strike Force, who I believe clinched last week, are at 9-5 as well now. Then you have that last spot open between the Vegas Nighthawks at 8-6 and the Tucson Sugar Skulls at 6-8. So if Tucson loses any of their last 2 games, it's going to go to the Nighthawks. Yeah. Or if the Nighthawks bungle the last couple of games and the Sugar Skulls can manage to win it, we might have some crazy stuff to talk about.
Yeah, hurt them. Tucson hurt themselves by losing this week.
Yeah, they did.
Otherwise, they'd have been a game out behind Vegas. So now it's a little tougher for them.
Yes, it is. And then eliminated the San Antonio Gunslingers at 4-10 and the 2-12 Northern Arizona Wranglers. And that'll do it for the Indoor Football League. If you are down there in the Quad Cities, go check out Dollar Beer Night. I want
Go check out the football. Don't go for the beer. Go for the game.
Go for both. That's my motto. Go for both.
Okay. All right. Let's see. In the La Liga de Fútbol Americano Profesional de Mexico, I'm throwing that.
Yeah, we should have led with the championship game. I just want to say real quick.
True.
We try to lead with playoffs and championships,
Yeah.
Randy, but you saved this one.
I did. On Saturday, it was the Mexico Bowl 8. It was the number 1 rated Mexicans and the number 2 ranked Bears.
The Osos.
The Osos. And the Mexicans came out on top 13-12.
Man.
Did you hear anything about this game?
I mean, I saw a lot of the social media stuff, and you know me. I think that the LFA trophy, the championship trophy, is one of the top 3 football championship trophies out there.
Okay.
Maybe we need a video on that. I don't know. But I saw all the posts and stuff, and I believe, I don't know if you have this in your notes, the MVP of the game.
No, I don't have the MVP.
Okay, so I'll have to quickly find it, but I'll get his name in a second.
Okay.
But the MVP of the game was a linebacker. How often do you see the MVP for a championship game or any league in any capacity be a linebacker?
Oh, a linebacker won the MVP award?
Yeah,
Wow.
And I'm just going to go through.
Hang on. While you're looking for that, let me go through a few
Please,
notes here.
please.
All right, so the Mexicans finished the season with a 9-1 record. The Bears finished with a 7-3 record. This was the second title in team history for the Mexicans. With 1 minute left in the game, the Bears missed a field goal that would have tied the game. The Mexicans then took a safety with 2 seconds left in the game, making the score 13-12. And the Bears still had one last chance with a 64-yard field goal at the end with 2 seconds left, but it was no good. So it came down to the last play, literally, who was going to win that game. So pretty exciting. Anytime you get a 1-point championship game, that's pretty awesome.
Especially since I think the last time these two teams played, the Osos got spanked by them. So I had to use the translate on my phone to translate the tweet. But Colby Campbell becomes the first linebacker in the history of the LFA to become the most valuable player in a bowl, in a Mexico Bowl. So that's pretty cool.
What if he's American?
There's a lot of American players that play down there.
Yeah, I know. So, I'm just wondering if he came from the States to play down there.
But I mean, that's still awesome. I'm glad they didn't shy away from that. And they got so many great pictures, like on their social media stuff. Ooh, that's a nice looking hat too for their championship.
Oh.
They got some cool stuff.
Let me see that trophy again.
Oh, here's a different picture of that trophy. It is.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a great looking trophy. I always say it's the Lombardi mixed with the Wimbledon
plate
thing. Yeah, and it's one of the coolest trophies out there. 13-10. What a nice close game. You couldn't ask for more.
13-12.
Was that what it is? Because on here it says 13-10 on there.
It was 13-12.
I'm gonna fight you on that. I see 10. I think you might have wrote it down wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure it's.
Oh boy, okay, that's it. To the internet, where we're gonna fact check, and Adam's gonna prove Randy wrong.
If you go to their,
if I'm right, I want a steak dinner. We're gonna do this live. I want a steak dinner.
I got the score from their
ChatGPT.
No, from the score at the top of the screen. You know how they have the. If you go to the
it does say 13-12.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for a steak dinner back, so I'm gonna not.
Just knowing that I was right and you were wrong makes my day.
Then the social media post. Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. All right, it says on the social media post I saw the wrong thing.
Okay.
All right, you're right. I was wrong. You can tag that.
Cut that out.
Cut that out. You can. You can timestamp it. Whatever.
anniversary.
Use it against me for the rest of my life. Whatever. It's fine.
All right.
Oh, these Mexicans' helmets are really cool. That's really. Oh, and their uniforms are so neat too. God,
They do have.
they got so many cool stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I love all these football. Like, why do people hate on it? Like, why do people say football season's only when the NFL's playing? There's so much great stuff.
I've been saying for years, you can be an NFL fan, but you can still like college football. You can still like arena football. You can still like Mexican football down in Mexico. You can still like European football. You don't have to just like the NFL. It's all out there. It's all good. We like women's football. In fact, we got some scores coming up from that here in a minute. But right now, we're going to go to Europe and we're going to turn this over to Adam for scores from the European League of Football.
Yeah, it was week 9, so they have 1 week left, and then it's their postseason already, I think. I can't remember how many weeks they actually played in the season.
I think they got a couple.
They got a few more? Okay.
They have a bye week.
Okay, I kept thinking that maybe they were a 10-week league. I can't remember.
I think there's like 12 or 13 weeks.
Okay, anyway. Saturday, we had a slew. We had 3 games, and we had 4 on Sunday. So Saturday saw the Munich Ravens defeat the Helvetic Mercenaries 34-20. The Mercenaries still winless, everybody at 0-7. On Saturday, the Stuttgart Surge defeated the Frankfurt Galaxy. Man, my poor Galaxy. 54-39. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
The Madrid Bravos defeated the Farivar Enthroners 49-22. The Enthroners now 0-8. Sunday, the Vienna Vikings defeated the Paris Musketeers 40-33. That had to have been a thrilling game. Sunday saw the Berlin Thunder defeat the Cologne Centurions 45-2. The Centurions are now 0-8 on the year. So those 3 winless teams still winless. Then you had Randy's Nordic Storm continue their unbeaten ways by defeating the reigning, defending European champs, the Rheinfire, 25-24. Another close game. And then the Verslaw Panthers defeated the Prague Lions 41-37. So 4-point game there. Some good football being played over in the ELF. Man, I can't wait. One of these days, I'd love to go to Europe and see one of these games. I really would.
And then, you got your passport now.
Yeah,
so
I do. And then on by the Tyrol Raiders and the Hamburg Sea Devils. So your standings after 9 weeks in the North Division. The Nordic Storm at 7-0, followed by the 4-4 Rhine Fire, the 3-5 Berlin Thunder, and the 2-6 Hamburg Sea Devils. In the South, the Munich Ravens sit at 7-1, followed by the 5-3 Tyrol Raiders and the 5-3 Madrid Bravos, then the 0-7 Helvetic Mercenaries. In the East, the Vienna Vikings sit at 7-1, followed by the Verslaw Panthers at 5-3, Prague Lions at 4-4, and the 0-8 Farivar Enthroners. And finally, in the West, the Stuttgart Surge at 6-2, the Paris Musketeers at 5-3, my Frankfurt Galaxy at 3-5, and the Cologne Centurions at 0-8. Okay. All right, and that'll do it for the European League of Football. We now throw it over to Randy, who's going to tell us about some playoff games in the Women's Football Alliance.
Yes, it was the semifinal round. They have 3 divisions, the Pro, Division 2, and Division 3. And in the Pro Division, it was the St. Louis Slam over the Minnesota Vixen 38-13. The DC Divas defeated the Pittsburgh Passion 35-34.
Wow.
You know, you just always assume the Pittsburgh Passion is going to be there at the end, and they came close to making another.
We need to ask our
game.
buddy Mike if he's now going to go to Canton for this championship game for the Divas.
I don't know. Mike had a bit of a traumatic trip home.
Did he from
himself.
the PFRA meeting?
Yeah, his plane got canceled. He was a day late getting home.
Oof.
So
that sucks.
I don't know if he'll want to hit the road anytime soon again, but. That means that the championship game, which is going to take place on Saturday, July 26th, is going to feature the St. Louis Slam versus the DC Divas, and all these championship games are at Canton.
And that one's for the highest level, right?
Yes, that's the highest level. Yep. And then in Division 2, the Salt Lake Wildcats defeated the New Mexico Bonitas 61-6.
Woof.
The Baltimore Nighthawks over the Cincinnati Cougars 29-28 in another really close game.
Dang.
So on Friday, July 25th, it's going to be the Salt Lake Wildcats versus the Baltimore Nighthawks for the Division II title. And then in Division III, the Oklahoma Rage defeated the Rocky Mountain Thundercats 20-14, and the Richmond Black Widows defeated the Connecticut Ambush 45-14. So that sets up the Division III championship on Friday, July 25th. Oklahoma Rage versus the Richmond Black Widows.
Man, so get your ticket. If you want to go see a football doubleheader, which we would recommend after we did that with the USFL a number of years ago, a football doubleheader, nothing, I mean, it's exhausting, but it's so fun. 2 games back to back.
Yeah.
Go down there and check those 2 games out in Canton, Ohio.
Yep.
At a great venue.
We've been Hall of Fame. Yeah,
go to Hall of Fame. Make a whole day of it. We're going to do that for the Hall of Fame game in a few weeks.
Yeah, the Tom Benson Stadium is pretty cool. You know,
Yeah.
not too big, not too small, just perfect for watching the game. The weather's great this time of year, so yeah, definitely check that out. All right, and finally, for scores anyway, in the Arena League. It was Week 7, and I guess we're going to turn that over to you for that.
Okay, yep. The Arena League Saturday saw the Ozarks Lunkers defeat the Iowa Woo 48-34. Our friend of the show, Tyler Kulka, is now 2-0 in the Arena League. I guess he went 23 of 32 passing for 256 yards. He had 5 touchdowns, threw a couple interceptions. But to be 2-0 as a starter and reinvigorate that team that is now, all of a sudden, getting towards the top of the TAL standings before the playoffs. I guess their postseason is going to, because they only have 6 teams, so I guess the top 4 teams will play in the playoffs, and then they'll have a championship game.
Do have the standings coming up.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that in a second. All right, and then Saturday saw the St. Joseph Goats defeat the Hot Springs Wise Guys 57-13. And then the defending champion Duluth Harbor Monsters defeated the Eau Claire Axemen 54-26. And your standings after 7 weeks, the Ozarks I guess technically the Duluth Harbor Monsters sit at 4-2, followed by the 4-3 Ozarks Lunkers, the 3-2 Hot Springs Wise Guys, the 3-3 Iowa Woo, and then the 2-3 St. Joseph Goats, and then the 1-4 Eau Claire Axemen.
Well, I took it from their website that the Lunkers are in first place right now. With
that math does not math.
Well,
4-3 is not greater than 4-2. So I don't know where that math is. I took it from their
website, and I tell you, trying to find stats on their website is a chore. I finally found them because I was looking for Tyler Kulko's stats, and all I could get was not what I was looking for, and off the page that's got all the scores, they have a thing for stats, and those stats are different from the actual stats. I finally found the actual stats in another location where I was able to say, he had 5 touchdowns. He threw for 200 and whatever yards. But, man, what a tedious... all the information is there for the Arena League, but, man, do they make it difficult to find it. It's a chore.
It is a chore. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah. Clearly, if it confuses Randy, then
they
doing
need to
something
clean
wrong.
that up. You got to make it easier for idiots like me to find your information so that I can talk about it.
I second that last part. Idiots like you. Yep. Moving on.
Well, that's it for this week's scoreboard. So now we're going to move on to more happenings in the world of football. So we've got some news here from the NFL. Former Detroit Lions defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh officially announced his retirement from the NFL on Saturday after 13 seasons. He played for the Lions, Dolphins, Rams, Bucks, and Eagles. He won Super Bowl 55 with the Bucks. He last played in 2022, but the announcement came just the other day on the 1-year anniversary of his father passing away. So I don't know if he was thinking about maybe making a comeback or what.
Yeah, I don't. When he announced it, I was like, I can't even remember who he last played for.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it was 2022, and here it is, 2025, and ready for another season. So yeah. Whatever reason, but yeah, he was a beast when he was with Detroit.
He was.
Sure.
I mean, I won't say he mellowed out over the years, but he definitely wasn't in the news as much. But he seemed to be like positioning himself to be like a hired gun towards the end of his season. Like, hey, I'm going to go all year. I'm going to just keep my body in training and live my life. And then if a team needs a defensive guy at the end of the year, they could call me. Clearly, because I think the Eagles did that a few years ago. The Bucks had him on their roster for a while.
Right.
So I don't know. I thought that was kind of what he was trying to do towards the end of his career. But I can't believe it's been that long since he played.
Yeah, I was surprised when he retired. I was like, when's the last time he played? And
right.
It's been a couple years. All right, the Chicago Bears have extended their general manager Ryan Poles through 2029. The Bears have gone 15-36 since Poles took over as the team's GM. I think you have some thoughts on this.
Man, oh man, this guy. So look, I'm not a Bears fan by any means, and by all accounts, this is great news for Lions fans,
Absolutely. We
Packers
love
fans,
We love
and
it.
Vikings fans. The fact I think everybody threw a little mini parade when they announced this extension for Ryan Poles.
Except for Bears fans.
Except for Bears. Well, there were some Bears fans who were like, oh, yeah. Like, okay, Bears fans, you need to sit down and just calm down because this has got shades of Matt Millen. Let me tell you from my perspective, look, what has Ryan Poles done? Absolutely nothing. I have had no confidence in this guy, especially after watching that Hard Knocks last year. Like, this dude just, he acts like he knows what he's doing. He's got all this bravado, like, we're going to take the North and we're never going to give it back. How's that working out for you, buddy? You're down there sweeping the basement every year in the NFC North. But I don't know. I saw that extension. I was like, this eerily similar to back when we had Matt Millen. He had no reason to ever get extended. And we're like, you know what? Let's just move on from the guy. This isn't working clearly. But Mr. Ford always kept giving him an extension, giving him more time, and it just made things worse, no matter how much promise was there. Think of all the weapons he drafted that we kept going, oh, we're going to be so great. We got Joey Harrington at quarterback. Oh, you're going to hear a lot of Lions names that you haven't heard in a long time. We got Joey Harrington at quarterback. We got Roy Williams at wide receiver. We got Mike Williams at wide receiver. We got Calvin Johnson at wide receiver. Okay, that one worked out. Calvin's awesome. But it's just all this promise. All these, we got Steve Mariucci as a head coach. Everything's going to go looking up. Offensive genius, everybody. Or when he got the hot offensive coordinator, Marty Morningwig's a hot offensive coordinator now. We're going places. Yeah, no, we didn't. He took the wind, idiot. But it's just, it smells of this. Bears fans, hear me out from across Lake Michigan. This reeks of Matt Millen type stench. Yes, maybe not as bad because they haven't gone 0-16 yet. Like, you got everybody's hyping up Ben Johnson. Don't get me wrong, we love Ben Johnson here. He was awesome. How will he do as a head coach? Granted, we don't know. We have no clue. But the fact that everybody's like getting, well, not everybody. I've met some realistic Bears fans. Like, guys, can we just pump the brakes a little bit on all this? Like, everybody's touting this offensive genius. Where we heard that before? That's happened before in Chicago. They've been touting all the player acquisitions, all this talent that they have acquired. How's that worked out for you the last few years? Remember last year when you had like the greatest receiving core ever put together? How'd that work out? It's just, guys, you are in a terrible spot, I think. Is there potential? Sure. I'm not going to say there's not potential, but I'm just, boy, I just have a bad feeling. And I've been trying to warn Bears fans, like, guys, this isn't good. You don't want this guy. Like I said, when I watch Hard Knocks, this guy just did not sound like the kind of guy I want running my team. It just sounds like it's going to be the same thing again. They're going to fire him at the end of the year, even though they gave him an extension. So this extension really doesn't mean anything. The guy could get fired.
It's just going to cost them money.
Yeah, he could get fired at any time. So if they have a bad season, they'll blame him. He's the scapegoat, even though they gave him an extension. And then now you got Ben Johnson, who's like, now we need to find a GM that fits Ben Johnson. Like, and then the cycle continues. Then something will happen. They'll blame the quarterback. Oh, I didn't draft that quarterback. Then Ben Johnson's got to go and get his quarterback. It's a terrible cycle. It's just going to keep rinse, wash, repeat. It's maddening. And I'm not even a Bears fan. It's just I'm tired of Bears fans telling me how great they are, and they're not.
Yeah. Ryan Poles had 2 years left on his contract. So they didn't need to give him an extension just yet. And I thought that was odd too.
Bears gonna Bears. That's all I'm gonna say.
But like I said, just like in Dallas, you let Jerry Jones run that team for as long as he lives, because as long as he does, they're not going to amount to anything. And that's the same way with the Bears. You got your GM there. As long as he's in charge, you're not going to have any success. Keep them both.
On paper, there's so many things that it should work. Caleb Williams, he might be an okay quarterback. I don't think he's going to be that great of a quarterback at the end of the day. Sorry, Bears fans. I hate to tell you that. I'm not buying into the Caleb Williams hype at all. And then, they shored up their offensive line. That, to me, is more of a Ben Johnson coming in, getting personnel type thing.
That's where it starts.
But I also don't want to give Ben Johnson too much credit because he's never been a head coach before. We're going to have to wait and see how he actually runs a team. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm just saying, be dubious. Don't just buy into the expectations.
And who was the great young quarterback they had a year or so ago that wound up in Pittsburgh? What was his name?
Fields, Justin Fields.
Yes. Oh, he was supposed to be the savior.
Yeah, remember that? Rinse, wash, repeat.
2 years and out?
3 years. I think it was 3 years.
Okay. Well.
They went through a couple head coaches in that span, I think. Right. Oh, boy. It's just, I don't know. That's all I got, Bears fans.
Okay.
All right.
I think after that rant, I think I'm going to make this a Matt Millen free zone, because you mentioned his name 3 times during your little rant there, and I wouldn't sully my palate by speaking his name anymore.
I mean, we should probably get a sign up in the man cave. Like, we don't talk about Matt Millen.
Picture Matt
it's like
Millen
Fight Club
with the red circle and the cross. Yeah.
We don't talk Matt Millen here.
I just thought that was understood.
Matt Millen can't hurt us anymore. We have Brad Holmes and
That's
Dan
right.
Campbell.
That's right. Okay. All right, let's move on to something else here. A couple of things that you just added before we got on the air here. The Chiefs have reached an agreement with Pro Bowl guard Trey Smith ahead of today's franchise tag deadline. It's a 4-year, $92 million deal, including $70 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid guard in NFL history. It's the highest average salary and the most guaranteed money ever awarded to an NFL guard.
Highest average annual salary. So
okay.
yeah, all that verbiage and stuff in there, to make everything sound like, awesome, once in a lifetime type deals. Well, they'll always be the next guy. So, but it's just interesting, as for a guard, to make that kind of money.
Yep. The Jets got contracts done with two of their young stars. Yesterday, wide receiver Garrett Wilson landed a $130 million contract extension. His deal includes $90 million guaranteed. And today, cornerback Sauce Gardner got a 4-year deal that ties him to the team for the next 6 seasons. 4 years, $120.4 million with $60 million guaranteed. Sauce is now the highest paid cornerback in NFL history.
I mean, if you're the Jets, I know the Jets don't do a lot right. And then, another team with another Lions coordinator now at the helm, head coach Aaron Glenn. I got a curious eye on the Jets. So I think these are two good, solid contract extensions, two young studs. Garrett Wilson's awesome at wide receiver. And then Sauce Gardner is one of the best corners in the game. Michigan kid, by the way. I think he grew up in Michigan. So awesome to see that for them. So you have a defensive cornerstone and you have an offensive cornerstone that you've locked in for a few years and you can hopefully build around. So I'm liking what I'm seeing there from Aaron Glenn and the Jets. Will they, as a team, amount to anything? We'll wait and see. Jets might still Jets, but we'll find out.
I'm surprised you didn't make this a separate category, NFL uniform talk.
Hey, you know me. I like my NFL uniform talk.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers unveiled their white throwback uniforms.
Yeah.
And you've got some thoughts on those.
I mean, they did a cool video today. I don't know what the point is in releasing a 3-minute video when you're just like, hey, we have white uniforms. Okay. Like, we've seen
the
those
home
before.
crowd will never see them.
Yeah, well, unless they do something special. I
Yeah.
don't know if they plan on wearing both the creamsicles and the white of that era Buccaneers, because it's their 50th anniversary, but the video was kind of cool. It's like 3.5 minutes long. They bring back some former Bucs legends, and they're paired up with like current Bucs stars, and it's cool to it was just a really well done video. But then I was like, wait, this is for a uniform unveil? Like, that's a little odd. And a white uniform, nonetheless, that we've kind of seen before. It's just the fact that they're bringing it back for the 50th anniversary. It's just a little odd, but whatever. I like it. It's a good look. So we'll see when they break that out. I'm sure they have a schedule out there now, like, hey, come see us wear these uniforms on X date.
Yeah, or if they don't, it'll be out soon.
But it's a good look. Baker Mayfield looks really good in this uniform. I think those Bucs players look good. So I like the look. I know you like that look too, the creamsicles.
Yep, I do like the old creamsicle look. All right, and the L.A. Chargers, I almost said San Diego.
I was going to say that jar was waiting for you to give $1 to it.
Added gold alternate uniforms. Tweaked their Navy set to resemble that of Junior Seau. I'm not crazy about the gold uniforms.
It does not look great.
It
does not look great.
It looks more yellow than gold.
It does. They called it their charged up gold or something like that. But, I mean, I was kind of curious what the Chargers were going to do. They, to me, have had one of the better uniform sets, like, across the board.
Mm-hmm. I like the powder blue uniforms that they do now, going back to Lance Allworth in those days in the AFL. And I also like the dark blue uniforms that they wore during the Junior Seau era.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are fine. But, yeah, this yellow thing is...
Yeah, it looks
ugly.
like one of the terrible Color Rush uniforms, like when they'd be all yellow or blah. They don't look great. But, I mean, I liked their Navy set that they've had recently the last couple of years, but now they're going back to the old Junior Seau era, which is kind of cool. They tweaked the uniform to look like that more. So that's kind of cool. And they added the dark helmet shell, too, so they'll go back to that whole look. So, whatever. I mean, solid.
Didn't the Rams have an all-yellow uniform?
Oh, yeah. Time? Remember, the year Jared Goff and Mahomes got in that shootout, remember, on Monday Night Football?
Yeah. Have the Rams and the Chargers both play with their yellow uniforms on. That would be a mess.
Yeah, I am
Look like a lemon meringue pie all over the field.
Yeah, this might be...
It'd be delicious, but not worth watching.
Yeah, not a fan of the gold uniform or however you want to say it. But everything else, I like the Chargers uniforms outside of that. So...
Okay. Let's see. The quarterback docuseries. We finally both finished it. I finished it, was it yesterday morning? Yeah, I think yesterday morning. And you finished it up probably last night.
I finished it today on my lunch break. Yeah.
Oh, at your lunch break. Okay. Here are some of the takeaways that I had.
Okay.
Joe Burrow bought a Batmobile.
Yeah, we talked about that when it
did we?
happened. Yeah, last year when it happened. Yeah, because it was during the season.
Oh, okay.
That story had come out.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But in the series, he's talking to his buddies, at practice. Oh man, I bought a Batmobile. It's the Tumbler from which
the Dark
version?
Knight movies.
The Dark Knight movies. Okay, and I know that's one of your favorites.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
But yeah, then after his house got broken into, he thought about that because he had to put in an order for this Batmobile. It was going to take a year to get it, and after his house got broken into, he canceled the order.
See, I hadn't heard that he'd canceled the order till this docuseries.
Yeah.
So I was really bummed to hear that. I was like, oh man, that stinks. I was looking forward to Joe Burrow showing up in a Batmobile,
In the suit.
So, like, my big takeaway from this whole docuseries, all three guys were actually really fun to follow.
Yeah.
Compared to the first season, which had Kirk Cousins, had Patrick Mahomes, and then it had Marcus Mariota. And no offense, Marcus, he was the weak link of that whole docuseries.
Right.
Obviously, Mahomes went on to win a Super Bowl during that run.
Yep.
But for this docuseries, I think Burrow was awesome. I liked everything with Joe Burrow. I liked everything with Kirk Cousins, even though I knew that he was going to be out at the end of the season.
Yep.
And everything with Jared Goff, I'm already predisposed to be into that because I'm a Lions fan.
Sure, yeah.
But can I be honest with you? I think his stuff was actually genuinely maybe the more stuff we emotionally got connected to. Like, Burrow was cool. I loved watching all the Burrow stuff. I was like, Joe Cool is I just want to hang out with this dude. He's just like super chill, laid back. I like him. And then Jared Goff, I felt a little more like, I don't know, like his story was just a lot more impactful. Every scene with him and his wife were great. Mm-hmm. They have great chemistry. Every time the dog was on screen, my fiance was just like, oh, what was the dog's name again? I forget the dog's name. Quincy. Yeah. Every time Quincy was on screen, she'd lose her mind. She's like, "Oh my God, look at Quincy!" So look, this was a great season.
Yeah. Well, another thing about Burrow, he gave his linemen samurai swords for Christmas.
He's like, they wanted guns, and I was like, let's get them swords instead. So I stuck with
the quarterbacks always give their linemen really expensive, Rolex watches or whatever,
electric scooters,
golf carts, something like that. So they always go to help to help the guys who help him on the field. Who protect him. So I just thought that was cool that he gave them all samurai swords. I mean, who's ever done that?
I don't know, but it was funny. That was good. There was a lot of good comedic stuff in this series too, so that was good.
Yeah, and then Kirk Cousins going back to Minnesota for the first time since they actually packed up their house and left, and went back for a game in Week 14. That was pretty emotional for his wife and kids and everybody. So that was. That was really nice that they followed him through that and reconnecting with friends that they'd had and they just had to drop everything and go to another city.
I was thinking that I would find Kirk's story to be not interesting. I was like, we've already talked to Kirk. What's the whole point? I like his kind of in the terms of the docuseries, his narrative journey. It was interesting, and I think I liked him more after watching this season than I had previously. Like, he's just got an interesting way of looking at things, and his work ethics, kind of speaks for itself. It's why he's been in the league for so long. And then I dug the story they did throughout the series about his brother and his friends coming to the games once a year, and kind of the tradition they started. How every time they come to a game, something crazy happens. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I was really into this whole series. I like pretty much everything about it.
When that one guy found that video of the guy working out with the short shorts and
it was in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Was it? Okay, well, I assumed it was Detroit because he's wearing a Lions.
He's got a Lions shirt. I'm pretty sure it was in Grand Rapids because they had.
And he's doing chin ups on street lights.
I'm pretty sure that happened in Grand Rapids because they had the big old building or the Bob as they call it downtown by the Van Andel.
I didn't recognize that.
I saw that in the background. I was like, oh, that's in Grand Rapids. Like the guy already had a Lions shirt on. So when I saw the Bob, I was just like, oh, that's got to be Grand Rapids. I don't know if Detroit's got a Bob, but Grand Rapids has a Bob.
Yeah, they do.
But there's a lot of cool stuff in here. The Joe Burrow injury stuff was interesting, and you kind of felt for him for a lot of that stuff. Yeah. It's cool to see some of their trainers. You get to see some of the family aspects of it. And then Jared Goff, I mean, what more can we say about that dude? He had a great season. You got to see a lot of the stuff he went through with, his wife who was pregnant. They kind of touched on that at some point during the show, especially at the end. You're kind of getting the ultrasound. And but lo and behold, today, as we're about to do this show, right before we go on, we see the tweet that he had his baby girl.
Yep.
So he actually had baby Romy. So Romy Goff out there. So
Romy Goff.
It's awesome. So that was kind of cool after watching the show, and then all of a sudden this news came out today that now Goff is officially a dad.
Yeah,
because in the show he had the girl dad hat on, so they knew it was a girl.
Yeah, they knew it was a girl.
So that's awesome, and it's really cool. And then what I thought was interesting was, you remember when the first season of Receiver last year that we watched, or it was so hard to watch that last episode, or the second to last episode, because we knew what would happen to the Lions, and that sucked.
Yeah.
Rewatching that, I kind of didn't want to have to watch it, but then I was like, I'm going to feel the same way watching the Lions Commanders stuff.
This is the same way.
But it wasn't as bad.
They really didn't show a lot of the bad stuff for Detroit. I mean, 4 interceptions. Whatever.
I think the hardest part was watching Kristen's Jared's wife.
Right.
Her
Yeah,
reaction to everything happened.
devastated.
She was devastated, and like I was like, that's how I felt,
Mhm.
and it was a bummer. But there's still a lot of enough positivity there, and like how the Lions owned up to a lot of their mistakes, and
Right.
it was just, I don't know. I thought overall this season was so much better than the first season. They framed the whole story, because we all knew at the end, like, none of these guys are going to the Super Bowl, but I think it ended with Kirk Cousins saying the great line that a coach told him. I forget which coach he said, but that at the end of the year, only one team has a good season.
Right.
And that's so true.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was great, and I thought this was a really well done series. I would highly recommend to anybody. So
Yeah. It reminded me of, even though they lost to Washington, there were a couple of really, really good plays for Detroit. I mean, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, some of the catches he made. That Sam Laporta one-handed touchdown grab in the end zone was awesome.
the Jamison Williams reverse
Run.
that went 65 yards.
Yep. So they had some great plays in that game, and that's what I want to remember. And they didn't dwell on how bad Detroit played. They were still in it in the start of the fourth quarter or whatever. The score was pretty close, but they just got away from them in the fourth quarter. So
makes you wonder if they do another season of quarterback, do they go to a Jaden Daniels, which would be interesting next season after his hot year,
right?
Or if they're going to jump to another position again, like every other year, maybe they come back to quarterback. So I'd be curious. This is one of my favorite sports docu-series, like 2 seasons of quarterback, a season of receiver. I dig it. Of course, my fiance wants a defensive player one because she's like, I just want Anzalone. Alex Anzalone was only on screen a couple of times, and at one point they actually did say his name, but there was one scene where it was just the back of his head, and she's like, there he is, that's my guy. And then she's like, I want a whole docuseries with Anzalone.
I think they should do kickers, and they could do Jake Bates.
Jake Bates would be fun. There's a few kickers you could probably do that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'd be into that, but kickers are on the sideline most of the time. But
what's left? They've done receivers, they've done quarterback, centers.
I think you could go
guards.
You could probably go like cornerbacks,
maybe cornerback,
or just the defensive side.
Running backs.
Maybe you follow a coach.
Running backs. There you go.
Or running backs.
Sonic and Knuckles.
There you go. That'd be pretty sweet.
Stay in Detroit. We got something for you every year.
Those two guys are entertaining. But I do think it's funny that they kept cutting to Amon-Ra a lot because he was on receiver last. So they interviewed him a couple times.
Yeah, they were having dinner together. Amon-Ra and his girlfriend, and Jared Goff and his wife.
But overall, would recommend. Would you recommend?
Oh, absolutely. As a Lions fan, it's almost required that you watch this.
It was so good. I didn't even think about looking. Like whenever there's like some new Netflix shows, they allow you to they'll have special thumbnails that you can change your icon on your profile for like some of those shows or whatever they watch. I was like, wait a minute, I wonder if because of this show, if they got a Jared Goff logo, I could put as my
wallpaper?
the profile picture. But I haven't changed it yet. I'm going to look into that right now. But I will let you.
We got a lot more show to go through.
You can move the show along.
All
That's
right.
fine.
We're going to move on to some college news. Speaking of Netflix, they just released their first trailer for its new documentary series, SEC Football Any Given Saturday. The show will premiere on August 5th of this year. You were just talking about wanting to go to an SEC game yesterday.
I would love to.
So I don't know if I'll even watch this one. I'm not a big SEC fan. I'm sure it'll be fascinating, but I'm kind of documentaried out right now.
Well, I think, having just finished and no Jared Goff profile picture, by the way, terrible job, Netflix. But no, I watched this trailer. I'm sure it'll be good. There's no way that this sports documentary is going to be bad.
Sure.
Netflix, and most of the time, sports documentaries are usually pretty good and entertaining.
Yes.
I don't know. This just feels a little too generic. I don't know what we're locking into. Like, it's just the whole SEC. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I needed its focus narrowed. Like, quarterback. It's 3 quarterbacks. That's your focus.
Yeah.
What's my focus point of this? The SEC is just so broad and so big, and there are so many stories. Maybe it will be interesting just because you got however many teams they have in that conference, and you go look at different traditions and atmospheres. That might be cool. My initial reaction after watching the trailer, though, is I might skip this one.
Yeah,
but but it's not for it looking terrible. It's just for me going, I don't know. It's just
I got nothing out of that trailer. It was so generic. You know, AI could have done that trailer.
It did.
There was nothing to it.
It just didn't.
Told you nothing about it.
It didn't tell me much. It didn't pull me into, like, it didn't give me that hook that I needed to be like, now I need to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they would have focused on, like, a player, like an up-and-coming freshman or something like that, like, we're going to go through this guy's story, or we're going to talk about this school's history, or, like, like I said, it looks like it'll be good. I just don't have the hook to draw me in.
Yeah.
So, unless I hear, like, some amazing stuff about it, I probably just won't go out of my
Right.
way to check it out.
Right. Okay.
So,
And then EA Sports college football video game was released last week.
yes, it was.
And you have been spending every waking moment playing around with this game, and not just playing the game, but playing with uniforms and looks. And
Okay, hold on. Let's not get too crazy. I barely played the game itself. I have been playing with the team builder function, which is you have to do that on the computer. So you go to the website and you can create and edit your own uniforms or whatever. And of course, I did. If you follow our X account, I posted. Actually, I think I put it on all of our accounts. The World of Football is now in EA Sports. College Football 26. You can just search for. I think you just have to search football. Like they tell you, like, go look at all the team lists, and you can download, like, because other people have done. I downloaded some Toronto Argonauts uniforms, and I was gonna say I just saw that person that followed us on X. That's pretty cool.
All right.
And I downloaded Argonauts. I downloaded a couple other CFL teams,
Right.
and then there might be some arena uniforms somebody put up. But there's a lot of cool stuff people could do on there. And
So anybody can make a team,
Yeah.
whether it's like an arena team or an indoor team.
yeah, you upload their logos and stuff. You can practically make that uniform in the game. There's ways to kind of do it, and the creator tool is so. I won't say it's perfect, but you can get pretty darn close. Like you can even edit the field.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, one team, they added a lot of the logos that you would see, like, on BMO Field. Well, not BMO. What was it? One of the sets, maybe it's the Rough Riders Field. You know, the Mosaic Stadium. Like, they had that logo in the middle of the field.
Okay.
Like, you can do a lot, and it's pretty cool. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, and maybe I'll make some other ones. Maybe a Kalamazoo Kegs. You know, my fake team, Real Dream Kalamazoo Kegs team. Maybe I'll make that into a team. My coworker keeps saying, "Will you make that Kegs one into a team? I'd play as that." But then you can also edit the roster to where, like, essentially I just took a player and swapped his name and just made Sam Smith Randy Snow, and now Randy Snow is the kicker of this World of Football team. So if Randy loses a game for you by missing a kick, you can blame him. Send in the tweet. We'll blame Randy as our kicker.
I played 1 year of high school football. I was a center. Why am I not the center on the team?
Because you're not the center of attention. You are the kicker. Because we want people to see you. Like, nobody's going to see you as the center.
I think it'd be funny to have these 300-pound linemen, and then you've got me, 5'6", in the middle.
It would be funny, but no, you're the kicker.
Especially if I was at my high school playing weight, which is around
95 pounds,
110 pounds.
110 pounds. But no, in the game I put me as the quarterback, of course, because I run this show.
Yeah.
Aaron is a wide receiver. Kyle is a running back, and I just played a little bit with us, and I put the video up. So it was fun. It's fun. It's a cool tool.
Well, glad you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Today's birthdays. For July 15th. Oh, and we do have an anniversary today, too. For the anniversary, back in 1984 on this date, the USFL Championship game, the Philadelphia Stars defeated the Arizona Wranglers 23-3 in a game played in Tampa. There was 52,662 at that game.
Dang.
So, yeah, spring football has always been a big deal for me. I loved the old USFL, and it was great. And people loved it, too, back then. Let's see. For birthdays, we've got today John Stallworth, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He turns 73 today. He played his college football at Alabama A&M. I believe that is an HBCU college. He was a fourth-round pick in 1974 by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played 14 seasons from 74 to 87, all of them with the Steelers. He won 4 Super Bowls, and he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2002. And then on this date in 1935, defensive tackle Alex Karras was born. In 1935 he was born. He passed away in 2012 at the age of 77. Played his college football at Iowa. I had forgotten that. Selected with the 10th overall pick in the 1958 NFL Draft by the Detroit Lions. Played 12 seasons in Detroit from 1958 to 1970. And he sat out the 1963 season along with Paul Hornung of the Packers over a gambling scandal. So didn't hurt his career because he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2020. So Paul Hornung went in himself too. So both those guys wound up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, you know Alex Karras as Mongo from the Blazing Saddles movie. He was the father in the Webster TV series. He was actually in the Paper Lion movie along with Alan Alda, and he was on an episode of MASH with Alan Alda. George Plimpton, ironically, was with the Lions team in '63 during training camp, and so Alex Karras was not there that year. He was suspended when he was writing the book. Plimpton was writing the book. But when the movie came out a few years later, they included Alex Karras as if he were playing.
How could you not?
Well,
add
yeah.
Alex Karras?
So, but yeah, Alex Karras' birthday today. Let's see. Now we've got 4 obituaries this week. This is where we take a moment and honor those who have made the world of football a better place. Our first obituary is that of Pettis Norman. A tight end in the NFL for 12 seasons has passed away at the age of 86. Norman played college football at Johnson C. Smith University, an HBCU school in North Carolina, and was selected in the 16th round of the 1962 NFL draft, the American Football League draft, by the Dallas Texans. However, he signed with the NFL's Dallas Cowboys and played for the team from 1962 to 1970. He finished his playing career with the San Diego Chargers from 1971 to 1973.
All right, our next obituary is that of Paul Markle, a tight end in the Canadian Football League for 7 seasons, has passed away at the age of 78. Markle played college football at Waterloo Lutheran in Ontario, Canada. He went on to play for the Toronto Argonauts from 1968 to 1970, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers from 1971 to 1973, and the Edmonton Eskimos in 1974. After his playing career, he served as the director of marketing for the Major League Baseball team, the Toronto Blue Jays, from 1983 to 1997.
Our next obituary is that of John Tautolo, a guard in the NFL and the United States Football League for 4 seasons, has passed away at the age of 66. Tautolo played college football at UCLA. He signed as a free agent with the New York Giants and played for the team in 1982 and 1983. He then played for the USFL's Portland Breakers in 1985, and he finished his career with the Los Angeles Raiders in 1987.
All right, and our final obituary this week is that of Louise Sharp, a tackle in the NFL for 13 seasons, has passed away at the age of 65. Sharp played college football at UCLA and was selected as the 16th overall pick in the 1982 NFL Draft by the St. Louis Cardinals. He played his entire career with the Cardinals. He was with the Cardinals from 1982 to 1987. Then they moved to Phoenix, and he played there from 88 to 93. And then they became the Arizona Cardinals, which was his final year in 1994.
I just thought that was unusual. He
saw all 3 iterations.
Played his entire career with the Cardinals, but 3 different names.
Right.
Louis
Just missed out on the Chicago Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, not just.
I know.
But yeah, to go from St. Louis to Phoenix and then Phoenix, Arizona. Wow. All right. Upcoming events calendar. Next Friday and Saturday. Not this coming Friday and Saturday, but the weekend after this, the 25th and 26th, is going to be your 3 Women's Football Alliance Championship games at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the Pro, Division II, and Division III levels in Canton, Ohio. On Thursday, July 31st, the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Lions versus Chargers, and we will be there for that game. Let's see. Tuesday, August 19th is going to be our 8th anniversary show. So we're going to be pulling out some highlights. Maybe Adam's rant from today will be included in that.
I don't know. That's up to you. You get to pick the highlights usually.
I usually do.
So.
But, yeah, things that we've said, good and bad, over the last year, we'll pull those out. Been keeping a list all year long.
And if it was caught on video, maybe we can have a nice little video montage. There's a lot of stuff that happened over the course of the year.
Yep. Let's see. Saturday, August 23rd, the college football season begins with Week 0. They have 8 games scheduled that week, highlighted by Iowa State versus Kansas State in Dublin, Ireland. And then on Saturday, August 23rd, the Indoor Football League Championship game will take place in Tucson, Arizona.
All right.
Okay. One other thing I was going to mention. I tried to get us tickets to the
training camp.
To the training camp. Again, for the 3rd year in a row, I could not get in to get tickets. They went on sale. Well, they're free tickets, but you have to go online.
Right.
At 10 o'clock. And about 5 to 10, I went on to see if they'd open things up, and they were already taking people in. So I was probably too late already.
Not surprised.
Time.
Yeah.
So 5 to 10, I get on, and it says there are 2,900 people in front of me. Same as last year. So I think last year was like over 3,000 people. But anyway, I waited for an hour, and I watched that number slowly go down. They refreshed every minute, and I finally got to where you're now next in line. You may go shop. So I'm like, great. And I get on there, and I had a Sunday game picked out.
Or Sunday session.
Yeah, a Sunday practice session. So I figured that'd be good for all of us to go. And I get in there, and it's letting me pick out the number of tickets. You can get a maximum of 4. So I'm clicking on 2 tickets, 3 tickets, and they wouldn't let me go to a 4th ticket, so I could only get 3. So I'm like, okay, must be they're getting spoken for. So I'll just take 3 tickets, but it wouldn't give them to me.
So you mean you didn't call them up and be like, do you know who I am? I am Randy freaking Snow of the world of football.
Well,
I have a YouTube channel, dang it, and I deserve a media pass.
I knew the Sunday game was going to be perfect for us, but after that, I said, well, let me try a Thursday game, because I had some joint practice
sessions.
Yeah, joint practice sessions, and every one I tried, some would let me, get 4 tickets. So I put 4 tickets, and I click, add them to the cart or whatever. No tickets available.
Dang.
So it's very, very frustrating.
It's all right. Like, we've always had fun going to those things.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, because of this whole ticket thing now, it's been frustrating.
Yeah.
It kind of stinks. But like I said, just flex your world of football muscles, Randy. You always find a way. Like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, you find a way.
We'll see. We shall see. All right. Anything you want to add to the show before we call this an episode?
I mean, shout out to our new follower, Johnny Agar. If you end up listening to the show, bud, thanks for the follow back on X. If those of you who don't know, brother to Annie Agar, the famous internet football comedian. Well, I won't say she's a legit journalist. So
she does a lot of funny.
She does a lot of, but she's a great follow and presence in the NFL college sphere.
The only thing we don't like about her is she's a Packers fan.
I know, but that's why we like Johnny, a fellow Lions fan.
He's a diehard Lions fan, so we need more Lions fans. Yeah.
So we both that was the follow we got a little bit ago. Dad and I made these faces at each other like, oh, he followed us. I had to show you
the phone, and you're like, yeah, I know, I saw that.
But no, as far as other breaking news, nothing really has come across the my phone as of now. So
okay, I'm sure something will. So many things.
Something
have
always
up.
does.
Yeah, I mean the Jared Goff child being born. That was literally seconds before we started.
Well, I mean that had been out for about an hour, but it didn't start getting to our phones till like as we were about to hit record.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there'll be breaking news. It always happens. But I have a bad feeling that we're going to hit stop and something big is going to happen with the AF1. They're going to announce the Michigan or the Ohio team location. We're going to be like, crap, we didn't even get to go.
Yeah. Get a text going, Randy and Adam, you need to be in this city in an hour.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. Don't forget to check out the World of Football merchandise at tpublic.com for the latest in football-related T-shirts, hats, mugs, and more from our merch store.
Speaking of which, we finally got a hold of our contest winner, XFL Mike G.
Mm-hmm.
That shirt should be in the mail soon, bud. So be on the lookout for it in the next week or so. I don't know. Shipping's always weird. I always got my T-shirts fast from TeePublic.
Yeah,
you would have like a couple weeks.
You.
Yeah, so be on the lookout, bud. It'll be on its way soon.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you again for that contest. And speaking of contests, the other contest, as far as I'm aware, nobody ever tried to do the other one.
I
So that
knew it was-
my
it
second
was gonna be
contest was a
hard.
dud. So.
It was hard for me. You know, I could. Well,
You
Tim
just
Cap-
gotta hold on. You just gotta put in the work, Randy.
Yeah, Tim Capper said he got 20. I don't know if I could have gotten 20. I might have, but
Yeah.
to get all 28, I think you made it a little too hard.
Maybe I need to make a short explaining what all of them were.
There you go.
Yeah,
There-
maybe-
there's a nice.
Just some built-in content because of this
Yeah.
mess up. This dud of a contest.
Well, at least somebody got a free T-shirt out of our.
Well, that was
first
for the
live-
other. We appreciate
live
it.
stream.
Yeah, we might have to do some more contests and live streams in the future. That's kind of the plan. So
Okay.
I don't know. The show's been running long, so I'll let you keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay, remember, folks, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than the two of us guys sitting here in Kalamazoo talking about football. Join us again next week when we'll try and do a better job. Yeah, right. Until then, I'm Randy Snow.
And remember, y'all, I'm Adam Snow, and football season never ends.
Never, never, ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Never?
Never.
Wait, hold on. Not never?
Not, well, it never.
There's so
ever
many double
ends.
that we might have just backed ourselves into a corner.
Words are hard, as you're always saying. All right, we'll see you all again next week.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this installment of This Week in the World of Football. New episodes of the podcast are posted every Tuesday and can be found wherever good podcasts are found. You can find the World of Football on Facebook, Instagram, and X by searching for TWOF Kalamazoo or using the links down in the episode description. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe to the World of Football for more fun football-related content. Just search for the World of Football Kalamazoo or use the handle @the World of Football. Thanks for listening and hope to see you again next time.